So today, as I said, we are going to start with the class B power amplifier. So let me add one word here, that is power amplifier. So one of some important things about the power amplifier is, so when you are doing a circuit, some certain things you have to remember, that we have to see what we are amplifying, a comparatively high input. So something in volts. Something in volts means you can write not millivolts. Okay, why not in millivolts? Because we have already seen in our introduction to the power amplifiers that the power amplifier is used in the output stage. So some kind of voltage amplification has already happened, and that is why the input is comparatively higher. Then we have to go for power transistors. We have to use, not any transistor can be used, but we have to go for a power transistor. Then the third point is that in this amplifier, what is important is the term efficiency. So instead of gain, what is important is efficiency, and not voltage gain, and not voltage gain. So if you start looking out for voltage gain, the voltage gain would be less only. It would be around 1 or 1.5 something, because this amplifier is designed to boost the current and not the voltage. So efficiency part is very important. And the efficiency formula is simply like the DC power upon the AC power. Okay. It's as simple as that. And here we have the fourth point will be, there is a problem of something called as crossover distortion, or we say zero crossover distortion. So when the signal swings from plus to minus, it has to pass through zero, and at zero there is a distortion. Zero crossover distortion. So in the exam they may use any of these terms. So you should understand it's one and the same thing. And once you see this in the practical session, I think you all will understand the theory well when we do it on Thursday. So I want you all to see or feel this thing, and then formula and all we will just do it in our theory class. Okay. So just note this down, and then you can start your LT Spice. Open a new schematic and save it with some name. Save as, save it on the desktop, and we'll call it as class B amplifier underscore, just say class B amplifier. So the name of this amplifier is actually not just class B, but it is called as class B push pull amplifier. Class B push pull amplifier. So all will has to be.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So could you
Yes.
please show the slide?
Slide. You mean the note?
Yes, sir, done. Thank you.
So this is our. So first you name it, and then let's build the circuit. You require now two BJTs. So I will just take the BJT from here, and one NPN, another one has to be like PN. So here we have one NPN, and the other one we want PNP transistor. Here we have this NPN and PNP. You can connect it this way, and the base of both of them also you can connect it this way. Now, take care that you select NPN and not anything else. Okay? So you should be able to see like this NPN and PN. Now many times what happens is that we want to give like VCC and ground. So what you can do is, instead of connecting a VCC here like this, what we can do is here. This is a new way of doing it. So look at the new way. So I'm taking two voltages, okay, like this, rotating the other one in this way. So we have V1 and V2 like that, and here we connect them, and somewhere from here we will create a ground. Now in this circuit we require both VCC as well as ground. VCC as well as ground, as well as we require minus VCC also. So what I will do is I will name one of the terminals as VCC. So this point I'll name it as VCC. This point I'll name it as VEE. Now why we are doing this? Because here I want plus 20 volts. So here we want plus 20, and here we want minus 20. Okay. So we will value this as 20 volts, and here we will write it as also 20. So both value wise both are 20, but you can see they are connected the other way around. Now you have created a plus 20 volts and a minus 20 volts. So now how to give them? So I will connect it here like this. Here. So now what I can do is I can just copy this VCC and connect it here. Then I can copy this VEE and connect it here. So what it means is that whatever voltages that you generated, they are now given to this. So this VCC is as good as, you don't have to connect a wire like this from here. There is no need of, though you can do that, but there is no need of connecting a wire. Spice will consider that okay, VCC and VCC, the nodes are the same. So it will consider that voltage being applied at this node. So this is a new way of applying. This is our load, and let's be so generally the speakers are in the range of 8 watts or 4 watts or 2 watts. So let's just write a 8 watt 8 ohm speaker, and so the value of this resistance is just 8 ohms, and we can just name it as load resistance RL. And then we can have an input which we will connect here, and obviously that input has to be like between some value and ground. So let's call this as V in. The value of this would be, we'll go to AC advanced, then go to sine, then DC offset value is 0. So like I told you that the amplitude is going to be high. So here I'm writing 18 volts. Frequency is 1 kilohertz. Here we have V in, and then you can name two more terminals as V in and V out. So this is V in, this is V out. In this fashion. So I will highlight this point, but still I'm giving you this. We will derive this. So the maximum theoretical efficiency is equal to 78.5%. So in the exam, if you like calculate and if you get more than 78.5 for a class B amplifier, be rest assured you will not get any marks more than 0. So this is what we will derive in class. But for the time being, I am telling you that the efficiency cannot exceed this. The efficiency cannot exceed this. Now, so first you do this much. So first you construct this much circuit and post in your chat box. Then we will do some adjustments, and then we will be ready to do some calculations. Once done, write done in the chat box. I will give you some time to draw this. Okay, Rohan, very good. You have drawn it. Can you check it? Rohan, that RL, other terminal of RL is not connected to ground. Okay.
Yes, sir, I corrected that and then I posted it again.
Yes. Others also will build this circuit and put it in the chat box. So it's very interesting to see that how this circuit actually works. Okay, Sayan, the output looks good. So at the top we will have a NPN. Okay, and here we will have a PN. Now one small thing that I want to tell you is that the emitter of this, can you see the base of these transistors are shorted? Like this, the emitter of this transistor should also be shorted. So when you directly pick up the transistor and put it here, what you can see is that emitters are not shorted. Okay? So this is actually a problem. So what you should do is, we will just take this transistor and we will rotate it. Okay. So once you rotate, you can't connect it like this. So after rotating, you will use this option mirror and connect it in this. So now do this. This this when you use two NPN and PNP, this configuration is called as a push-pull power amplifier. Push-pull because one transistors, NPN transistor will source the current and PNP transistor will sink the current. So basically what happens is that the current flows from VCC to RL in the first half cycle, and then it flows from RL to PNP and then to VEE in the second half cycle. Okay. Rohan, output is okay. Sayan, you also try and do that. Now, like I said here, we should use a power transistor. So you can see that we have not yet selected a power transistor. So we will select a power transistor. So now first I will click on NPN. Right click on NPN. Then I will say pick a transistor. And then there is a transistor 2SCR542P. SCR542P, this one. This. So why I am selecting this transistor is because you can see that the VCEO is 30 and mainly the IC is 5000 milliamperes. 5000 milliamperes means it is 5 amperes. So it can give us, it can sustain a very large current, and that is why I am choosing this. So you can choose, you can see the upper and the lower one also, 533P and 544P. They are also like 3 amperes and 2.5 amperes. So what we are choosing is like the maximum current transistor which is available in LT Spice, which is SCR542P, which is having a current rating of 5000 amperes, and VCEO is 30 volts. So that is the maximum reverse voltage that you can apply at the base of the transistor. So how much you are applying here? Here you are applying a base voltage of 18. So 18 is less than 30? Yes. So we can choose this transistor. And current we are not yet sure, so that's why we are taking the maximum value, that is 5000 milliamperes, which is 5 amperes. Okay. So I'm selecting this, say OK. And for a PNP, again I'll pick up a new transistor, but SCR was the series for NPN. Now SAR is the series for PNP. So you can take SAR542P. Now you can see this is the SAR series, this is a PNP transistor with the same specs. PNP transistor with the same spec. So both the transistors PNP and NPN should have the same specs. Means both should have the same current handling capacity and both should have the same VCEO. If they are not, then it may happen that If there is a current surge, the upper transistor might work fine, but the lower transistor may burn out. So that is why they should all have the same specs. So I'm just saying okay here. Now what you will do is you will show me this. You will name this and show me this. So now your Q1 and Q2 should be this. Now I want you to name them. Of course, keep on saving this whole thing in between. Okay, Sayan, good. Jose, okay, very good. So if you are naming Josna, this plus 20 and minus 20, you can write it as plus minus 20 volts. Otherwise, it's confusing.
Okay, sir.
Anyway, circuit-wise, it is no problem. But you know, if you will see this after maybe a week's time, you should be able to understand it. So let us write in a way so that we only will understand, because sometimes I also, when I try to get back and see, it becomes difficult to recollect when we are not mentioning the things. At that point of time we get everything correct, but later on it becomes slightly a problem. So anyways, you can just do that. Okay, Tanvi, let me see your circuit. Okay, good. So please ensure that your transistor selected are perfect. In the lab, you know, when you are doing this experiment, I also see that some students select a PNP transistor for this. So then everything goes for a toss. So upper one is NPN, lower one should be PNP. Yes, everybody should post their circuits. Everybody should do this. Okay. So now let's go ahead and do a transient analysis. So here you can write 6 milliseconds. 6 milliseconds means for a 1 kilohertz signal, if you write 1 milliseconds, you will see one cycle. If you write 6 milliseconds, you will see 6 cycles. How many ever cycles you want to see, that much you write here at stop time and just say OK. Now, first of all, we'll plot the input. Then I will add a plane, and here I will plot the output. Oh, okay. One small error I did. You can see that both these are becoming plus. Okay. So go and rotate it. This way. So this is positive and the other side of this is negative. I'm just running it. So you should be able to see something like this. So first of all, I want to see this circuit as well as the waveforms. Come on, do this. Okay, Jose. What happened, Rohan? Rohan changed that power supply. See here, one has to be positive, other one has to be negative, and the common terminal between them is ground. So this is also the way to make a dual power supply. This is also the way to make dual power supply. So in the lab, we have dual power supplies. So we can make a dual power supply by directly using two power supplies, or in the lab we have a ready-made dual power supply which can give me a plus and a minus and a ground. So here we have plus, here we have minus, and here I will just write for our sake. Here we also have 0 volts. So this entire thing is basically a this is a dual power supply, and in the lab when you go, either you can ask for a dual power supply, or if they say nahi hai, then what you can do is then you can also say give me a normal power supply, but two of them. And then what you can do is, let us say we are having a let's say we are having two power supplies. Okay, we have power supply 1, okay, P1, and we have power supply 2. So in the lab what you can do is, this power supply will have like one black terminal and one white red terminal. So red is positive and black is negative. So these two power supplies, P1 and P2, are not dual power supply. but you can create one by doing a connection like this. So positive and negative of 1, you can connect it, and this point will behave like ground, and this point will behave as positive terminal, and this point will behave as negative. And generally in BW, what you have done is you have connected this black to ground for the first one, and the second one was like positive. Or if you wanted only negative, you connected it the other way around. But now what if you want both? Then we have to do something. So this is what you have to do. And with the help of knobs, you can set on this 20 volts and 20 volts. Here you will get plus 20 volts, and here you will get minus 20 volts. So actually physically you have to do this in the lab, but here we are just doing it this way. So we are actually creating a dual power supply using two power supplies. Now let's observe some things. So this is your input, and the input is from 0 to 18 volts, swinging in the positive and the negative direction. So the peak to peak is around 36 volts. And if you see the V out also, so let's see this. So if you see V out, the peak voltage is 17.17. So actually this amplifier does not amplify the voltage at all. Okay. And if you look at this, obviously the peak voltage would be something different. It would be 17.9, which is almost 18 volts. Now, one thing we have to do here is, so let's observe this. So we have to now find out what is PDC and P in DC, and then we have to calculate P out AC, and then we have to calculate efficiency. So what we can now do is we can have this formula. So I'll just put it here. P in DC is VCC into ICQ, and ICQ is nothing but Im by pi. ICQ is nothing but what? Im by pi. That is the standard formula for any of the sinusoidal waveform. And then all you need to do is find out what is the maximum current. So I'll just write it down here, and now through this waveform we will find out what is the maximum value of the current. So you cannot find out maximum value of current in V out. So what I'll do is I'll add one more plot plane, and I will plot the current going through the load. So here I'll add trace, and I'll write IR1. So now if you just click on this and see what is like the maximum value here, so you can see it is 2.148 or 2.146, whatever. Okay, so I'll just take it as 2.148 or 6, doesn't matter actually, but 2.14. So now you can see in our formula we have written 40 is the VCC, that is the net VCC. If this is my dual power supply, and if I measure the voltage across these two terminals, that is going to be my VCC. So 20 minus 20 would be 40 volts. So this would be like end to end, you will get 40 volts. So you can have a swing of 40 volts. So that is why VCC here is 40. Im, like we measured, is around 2.145 or 6, and divided by pi. So if you calculate this, are you getting 27.32? Just let me know. So let's try and do that. 2.146 divided by 3.14, that's the value of pi, into 27.33. Okay. So that's good enough. That value is 27.33 watts. Have you understood how to calculate IM? IM is basically the maximum current flowing through the load. There is another way of finding out ICQ, that is by removing V in. So we will remove V in and this is the AC supply. So we'll remove that and we can just measure what is the value of the current flowing through RL. It should be this much only. But we already know a formula which can tell me the DC value from the AC value. That is, if I am measuring the maximum value of current, the DC value of that would be simply IM by Y. So now you will show me this circuit and waveform. Now here we want P out AC. So P out AC, the formula for that is this, that is V0 RMS upon I0 RMS. And now here the formula for V0 RMS is Vm by root 2. And Im is going to be Im by root 2. So I'll write Vm by root 2 and Im by root 2. So root 2 becomes 2 and 1 by 2 becomes 0.5. So I'm just multiplying that by 0.5. Now the question arises, what is V0M and Vm and Im? So you can measure that also. So again, what is V0 out? That is around 17.17, and the current value is the current value. We have both current and voltage values. We can just measure. So this is the current and this is the voltage. Okay, this is the voltage and this is the current. You can see here 17.17 and 2.14. So current is the same value, but now we also require the voltage. So going back to the circuit, here this next line becomes like this. And please calculate this thing and tell me what is the value of the efficiency. So what is the value here? Can somebody calculate and tell me?
Sir, it is 18.43.
18.423. So 18.42, we can take it. Correct. Very good. This value will be 18.43. And now very easily you can write the efficiency, that is output upon input. Output power is 18.42 and input power is 27.3. So it should be this much. Check it. Now this value of efficiency should always be less than the theoretical value, because that's the maximum that you can do. You cannot get more than 78.5. So our 67.42 is very good. And just for the sake of it, what I'll do is I'll also just mention the values of my transistors. So now first I want to see the circuit and these calculations, and then I want to see all these three waveforms. Sarvesh, are you able to understand? Sharvari, Vaishnavi, there are all two of them. There are two Vaishnavis, there are two Tanvis, there are two Shrawanis. I think this class has got all two Samikshas, two Pratiks, two Pratams, two Omkars. Good. Two Ayush also. Okay, Sayan, I'm getting this. Sayan, your outputs are good, correct. So just when you open this circuit, you will get to know like everything, okay? What all things are there a part of. Rohan and Jose, just post your outputs also. Okay. Okay. So now if you like see this circuit and these waveforms, everything looks very fine. I mean, ठीक है, चलो, efficiency also is within the limits and waveforms are also looking nice and all this. But when you maximize this thing, you see that there is something funny at zero crossover. Can you see this zero value? There is something funny at 0 going on. Input is clean, V in is clean, it's perfect. But V out and the current flowing through the load is having a problem. Now what is that problem? So let's zoom into it and see. Oh, at 0 there is a flat line. You can see that there is at 0 there is a like a flat line. So if you want to see that better, I'll just delete these planes. And can you see at 0 there is a distortion? Can you all show me this distortion? Come on, zoom in, zoom on the waveform and see this distortion. Okay, many of you can see that. Good. Okay, Rohan is seen on the right falling edge. Fine, that's also fine. So this distortion will be there at both the edges. Okay, it will be there at the rising as well as the falling edge, and that is actually a problem. So this is a distortion which is there in the. So here it's not smooth. Now the problem is because what happens is when you give an input here, it requires at least 0.7 volts for the first transistor to turn on, and till that point there is no current flowing through the upper transistor because it's not on, and that is the reason why the current flowing through RL is 0. So that is the reason why you get this flat line here, you get 0 amperes when it is trying to cross. So similar is the case for the lower transistor also. So this 0.7 volts business is can be handled using either diodes, or you can use another class of amplifiers which is called as a class AB amplifier. So now let's look at class AB power amplifier. Class AB power amplifier. Now again the theoretical efficiency of this is should not be more than 78%, 78.5 to be precise. Now what we will do is we will just save this as, let's say, class AB, and now we just close this. So that diode is actually is the culprit. Okay, so what we will do is, okay, that 0.7 volts we will try to fix it. So here you will put the diodes, and these two resistances are required to slightly bias it above the 0 point. Now what should be the values of this R? So keep this as 100 ohms. This is also 100 ohms. And these diodes have to be 1N4148. This is the diode 1N4148 that you have to select. Now this is going to be class AB push pull power amp. So show me this circuit. I have not changed the transistors, but I have added diodes there because we know that the contact potential of the diode is 0.7 volts. So that thing will completely go away if we use this. Okay, good. Rohan, your circuit is correct, but like try to make it look like this. Okay, I mean it should look nice. That's it. So here you can say B1, this is B2, 100 ohms. And just name this to class AB here. Now somebody might ask me, why are you not connecting the other way around? So you can connect it that way also, no problem. But the direction of both the diodes should be same. Like if this is anode cathode, then it should be in the same way. Okay. So what does this circuit do? It gets rid of that crossover distortion. Okay, so I'll just open my previous file and we try and run it. What we get here is a crossover distortion. Okay. Now let's run this file and see the output. So here you can see that there is a crossover distortion, but if you look at this, there is no crossover distortion. So class B power amplifier will give you a crossover distortion, and class AB power amplifier will not give you any distortion. Okay. So now I want to see both of them together. So first what I want is, I want you to show me just the input and output of the current circuit. That's it. This is the circuit and I want to see the wave. So you can add some more plot planes, and the first one you can add V in. The second one you add IRL. That is the load resistance. Now you can see here this is gone like to a great extent. At 0 there is nothing, it's very smooth. Okay, this is good. So now what I'm doing is I'm opening the first file and I'm running that as well. And here also I'm adding 3 plot planes. In the first one, let's have V in. The second one, let's have IRL, this one. And here we have L. So now you show me this like this. But one thing we have missed, that is we want to now like find out what is this power calculations. So I'll go to this class and I want maximum value of IR, so that is 2.209, and the maximum value of V out is this 17.67, and here this is 17, this is 2.209. So accordingly we will do some changes in the calculation. So what will be the changes? Here this will become 2.206, and in this formula we will have 17.67, 17.6, 2. So just tell me what are going to be the values. So I think this becomes 28 point something. (19.5x), and the efficiency would be AC upon DC. Now I want to see like all of them. Okay. with the new values. So here the efficiency was 67.4 and here the efficiency slightly increased 69.37. Correct? So I would say that there is not much significant increase in the value of efficiency, but yes, you could get rid of the crossover distortion. Yes. Any doubts? Please unmute and ask.
Sir, in class, I'm getting another graph for V out. Could you please check it?
Just post it in the chat box. Na?
Sir, I've already posted it.
One. What happened here is okay. I'll tell you. This was your first one, right?
Yes, sir.
Now here I think you have written minus 20 volts. Correct? In class B, you have written there as minus 20. Here I think there is a minus sign. So what has happened here is you got your first output correct. I mean this output is correct. But here what happened is, can you see here? This is also plus 20 volts, this is also plus 20 volts. You are giving plus 20 only here. And here what you are doing here is on top of this. See here your emitter should be connected here. So this should flip like this. See here. This emitter is here, not here. That is why your outputs are coming wrong. And here you have to like values both are 20, but this plus on one side you should have plus, on other side you should have minus. So just by writing this minus 20, it will not become minus 20. Everything in blue is just a comment. Okay, good. Any more doubts? You can unmute and ask. So yeah, your last output is not me. Okay, so I'm correct. Your outputs are correct. So see here, how Soham has done is, he did not change the polarity of the supply, but he wrote here straight away minus 20 volts. So that itself changed. So if you do both, then it's a problem. Either you name this as 20, 20 and 20 and reverse the polarity. So here you have plus, here you have minus. Or you can just turn this around and write this one as minus 20. So it's up to you. I mean, but in the lab you cannot do such any funny stuff. In the lab, this is what you have to do. This is the only way that you can do this. Okay. Since this is a simulation tool, okay, we can give negative values, and but in the lab, power supply never comes with minus 20 volts. It will come with plus 20 and plus 20 only. And then you will connect it in such a way that one gives plus and other one gives minus. Okay, good. So I'll just give you these two files. So can you confirm whether you got it? Yes, Tanvi, very good. In
So we
one,
got the files.
yeah, in one you're getting. Okay, correct. Tanvi has made it perfectly.